First day of kindergarten? Yikes! How is your anxious child going to handle kindergarten? I know it could be totally scary, but there are some things you can do to make it a little bit smoother. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned, that's what's up next. The first step, which is going to sound totally obvious, is you kind of want to validate your kids' fears. I think all too often we rush to reassurance without saying, yeah, you know what? Kindergarten can be scary and change can be hard. And going from preschool or home to kindergarten can seem really overwhelming. And I get that. Maybe you're sad to leave your friends. So you want to talk to your child like that before you move into trying to reassure them or give them tools to prepare. Because you want to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, it's totally scary and you get it because maybe you're a little scared yourself. Second, you want to prepare your child. I had a little kindergartner and she went to school 2 weeks ago, so I'm kind of making this video a little late for some people and I'm sorry for that. But hopefully I'm catching a few of you and this video will be here forever, so next year it'll be perfect. But I did a lot of preparing with my little person who is 5 and is currently sitting in a kindergarten class as we speak, but she was a completely anxious and shy child. And so I signed her up for a lot of things. So if you have time, which maybe you don't if you're listening to this in real time currently, but if you do have time, sign your child up for activities so they can get used to it. If your school has like a summer program, that's amazing. I signed my daughter up for a summer program. She went to a camp and that was really hard for her, but then she met a lot of people. And so then when she started kindergarten, she was saying, hey, there's so-and-so, and hey, I know him. And it really helped. So tip number 2 is try to get your child to meet other kids before kindergarten so they get used to saying, hey, what's your name? Do you want to play? A mom in my private Facebook group, which by the way, if you're not a member, you should join. I'll leave a link below. But she had a great suggestion. She said that she would find a Facebook page. I'm actually not sure exactly how she did this, but she found other kids that were going to be in kindergarten with her child, and she arranged play dates before school even started. Now, confession, I'm totally an introvert, and so I probably would feel really awkward doing that, but that's amazing, and probably most people, most normal people, would feel fine doing that. So if there's a way for you to connect with other kids before school even starts, that would really help. Tip number 3 is there are a zillion books and videos on your first day of kindergarten. It's a big deal. And there's a lot of books out there because it is a big deal. Buy them, read them, watch them. Do whatever you can to immerse your child in the concept that kindergarten is fun and they are going to be prepared. Okay, so once you have talked to your child, you have gone out of your comfort zone or my comfort zone, and you've met other parents and you've socialized your child or even with other kids that are not going to be in kindergarten, and you read books and videos, then hopefully you're going to go to meet the teacher night, and hopefully they have that at your school or in your country, I don't know. But that really helps. And if your child is super anxious, you might want to call the school or contact the teacher and see if you can have your own meet the teacher time. I've even worked with kids in my practice where the teacher will come to their house. That's amazing. This year, my daughter's kindergarten teacher actually called me and left a personal message with her phone number and for me to call her back if I had any questions, concerns, or information I wanted to share. That's the first time out of all 3 kids that a kindergarten teacher called me before school even started. That's amazing, and we're going to have a good year. But you can reach out to the teacher, and some amazing teachers will say, of course, I can meet you before the meet the teacher night, or you can come in at a different time, or I can come to your house. That's happened. Okay, so at meet the teacher night, there's a couple things that I want you to do that's going to really help your child. For starters, it's good to tour around these are going to seem really obvious, but I'm just going to say them. You definitely want to show your child where they're going to sit and how they're going to function throughout their day. Some teachers actually don't do this at Meet the Teacher night, so you want to do this because anxious kids really need to plot and plan their life. And the more prepared they are, the more they're going to feel ready for their first day. So find where they're going to sit or likely to sit. Find where they're going to put their bag. Where are they going to put their lunch? Where are they going to put their water bottle if they have one? Where do they hang up their coat, depending on where you live. Find all that out and walk your child through it. Now for some really weird tips. Take some pictures of the room. That might feel a little weird and awkward, but maybe not for you. Maybe I'm just too self-conscious, but I do it anyway because I get over myself to help my child. So get your camera out, take pictures of the room as much as you can, or video, because that will really help, because your child might be so overwhelmed in the moment, they may not be absorbing everything, and they might want to watch it over and over again to acclimate to the room and the teacher, and these are the kids that are going to be around. That can really help. Some other creepy ideas. Take a picture. If your teacher has the schedule posted, some teachers do that, take a picture of it, because then you can role play and go over the schedule with your child. Anxious kids like to know the routine. Third creepy tip, well, actually I have 2 more creepy tips. Take a picture of the teacher, because that kind of helps. Be like, remember, this is what she looks like, and she looks so kind and nice. Or he, let me not be sexist. There are great men out there who teach kindergarten too. And lastly, and I don't know if this happens at your school, but at our school, they also list the kids. When you're signing up and you're like putting your email and stuff, there's a list of all the kids in the class. My husband always takes a picture of it so that we have the list for birthdays, play dates, and when there's an issue and they're saying, so-and-so hit me, I can look at the list and I know exactly who the kid is. That sounds really negative, but actually it's more positive. Think about play dates and stuff like that. So if that's available to you, take advantage, because you might not be able to remember all these things, so bring your camera. I want to move on to tell you that it's important to ask your child what they are the most worried about. Don't assume, yeah, it's kindergarten, it's all overwhelming, for sure. But I said to my child, what are you the most anxious about? And she surprised me. She said, Mom, when we go to meet the teacher night, can you show me where the bathroom is? I would never in a million years thought that that would have been something on her radar that she was worried about. And she was. And I forgot to show her when we went to meet the teacher. So I'm like, not mom of the year, but she found the toilet, so whatever. But it's good to figure out what exactly is upsetting or making your child the most nervous, because then you can kind of address that specific fear as well. Lastly, if you can, go to the playground and have your child play on the playground before school starts. Not like the day that school starts, but weeks in advance. Just go to the playground if you have access to it and let your child just play on it. That will help them, give them lay of the land, know how the playground works, what slides they like, and for it to feel comfortable and safe. It's just another thing to acclimate them to their environment. I know I said that was last, but this is a PS. PS, on the first day of kindergarten, for those emotional parents out there, fake it till you make it. Suck it up and don't show any emotions, because your child is a sponge that day and you want to seem very confident and loving and supportive, and you don't want to crumble with your crumbling, anxious kindergartner. So I hope that those help a little bit. I just want to throw some ideas at you. I will talk to you next week, and until then, I hope you find the sparkle in every day. Take care. Bye.